Well, there's never been one like this before. Never in August, never with no fans. But it is and always will be the greatest spectacle in racing. This is the Indianapolis 500.
Get ready.
And there is a 33-year-old Andretti leading the field of 33. But Marco is challenged by Dixon early. That orange and blue car going around the outside. Dixon for the lead and gets it.
Clear, clear.
Bold move from Scott Dixon around the outside. Setting the tone for today. Paul, what's it like over there?
Jostling for position. Alex Palou trying there. Takuma Sato now makes a move on Marco Andretti for second, and Ryan Hunter-Reay in that yellow and red DHL Honda. He's on the move as well.
The Scott Dixon is checking out right now. Amazing acceleration from that PMC car on the start. It looked like Marco had a good jump. Further back now, there's Hunter-Reay in the yellow and red DHL car. He's going to the inside of his teammate. Marco says, not yet, buddy, and not now.
And Rinus VeeKay is there, the 19-year-old Dutch driver in that 21, that white and black Sonax Chevrolet. He is not daunted by this rookie experience.
James Hinchcliffe drafting up on the rookie VeeKay. James in that orange and white Genesis car, looking to the inside, tucks back in. He'll look for a draft coming out of turn 4, back onto the front straight.
And there's Alexander Rossi, the blue and yellow Napa Auto Parts Honda. He's staying in the mix. So too is Spencer Piggott in the High V Honda. And Marcus Ericsson is there as they start to find a rhythm now. And look at this, Sato has caught up to Dixon. Inside is James Hinchcliffe on the rookie. Couldn't quite do it.
Oh!
Ed Carpenter, US Space Force car. Kelly?
And trouble for the local guy, Ed Carpenter, early. He's really upset with Zach Veach. He says Veach put him into the wall early, and it sounds like they might have to make a front wing change as they assess the damage, but trouble early for Ed Carpenter.
Take a look at the replay.
He had to have known I was there.
It's the view from Jack Harvey's car. Whoa.
So you could hear Ed Carpenter say he had to have known I was there. Perhaps information from the spotter for Veach, but tough to say. It's so hard to try to stick your nose into that short chute on the start. The action furious right here out of the beginning. You can tell, Lee, the urgency, the anxiety to try to make something happen on the start, because it's very difficult after a few laps with the turbulent air as soon as the tires start to wear.
Look out, here comes Captain America, Ryan Hunter-Reay in that red and yellow DHL Honda for Andretti Autosport. This is as good as we have seen him here at the Speedway in a while, and he is all over Takuma Sato.
Huge runoff of turn 4 for Hunter-Reay. He had great balance through turn 4. Should be an easy pass down the front straightaway. He tucks into second. Now Hunter-Reay has Dixon in his sights.
Who said it was going to be tough to pass this year? Beautiful move from RHR. Dixon, Hunter-Reay, Sato, Andretti, the rookie VeeKay, Hinchcliffe, Rossi, Spencer Piggott, Marcus Ericsson, and Graham Rahal.
Marco Andretti has fell back a little bit, just settling in now to 4th place as Dixon now leading, Hunter-Reay stalking. Sato looking good.
I was talking with Hunter-Reay and Alexander Rossi just before the start this morning, and they both said that you really have to embrace being uncomfortable today. It's important to have your car set up loose as VeeKay moves to the inside there. Hinchcliffe all over the back. Looks like we've got a problem.
James Davison.
Right front.
Yeah, he's hit the wall. It looks like and the brake is on fire.
Oh my gosh, the
whole wheel is broken
God.
apart. So I've never seen anything like that
Right
before.
front wheel's going to come off in a second. Want you to get it low, get it low, get it off the track. Yep.
James Davison in the Dale Coyne entry with Rick Ware Racing, Bird and Bellardi entry.
Wow.
That is wild. I've never, ever seen. I don't know why he just doesn't stop.
Well, if you can get to pit lane and they can figure out how to get that wheel off, Paul, I'm sure, now the whole car's going to light up.
That's a big fire. He needs to get out of that car really quickly right now.
This is Australia's James Davison in his 6th Indianapolis 500. And it is over pretty much as quick as it started. What a shame.
Magnesium wheels, you can see the...
Doesn't look like Townsend he brushed the wall, because there's no mark on the outside, and that wheel looks as though it just broke apart in the center. They're magnesium.
And Lee up front, don't be surprised if Scott Dixon lets Ryan Hunter-Reay go, because when you're out front, you use a lot more fuel. And a yellow on the track, Lee.
For no obvious reason, just yet. There's a big obvious reason. Marcus Ericsson.
That's a big crash right there. I believe
Paul Marcus Ericsson had been working really hard to get around
front
VK,
of me
and now
here.
the car lights up, Paul. What do you see?
I'm right on top of it. His car is on fire, but it's just a turbo fire. There's oil in the exhaust, but big impact here. The whole side of the car, both wheels, headers are now on fire. Got an oil line loose as Marcus now is jumping out. He's literally right underneath me. And I'll head outside here real quick. Get a quick look here, but you can see he's climbing out right now.
What a shame, because Marcus Ericsson had such a positive week and a half. He's got that special tribute Ronnie Peterson helmet, one of 2 Swedish drivers in this race, and he had been quick. He'd been quick in practice. He'd been good in qualifying, Kelly. It's all over now, and it's another non-finish.
Yeah, huge disappointment. Even just moments before that wreck, Marcus Ericsson came over the radio to say that he felt really good about his race car. The balance was good, and that he was starting to find his rhythm. And then obviously misfortune struck this Swede, who will be sorely disappointed in his second Indy 500 outing.
Had a great season going so far, Lee, and this has got to be a big disappointment as he's coming off of turn 2 here right in front of me. Oh, it gets a little bit loose right there and just flat pancakes the wall in turn 1, and then it slid all the way over to where I was, and it stopped literally right underneath me.
That was a massive hit. Big tank slapper in the dirty air. Ericsson had been working hard to try to make some ground on VK and stay up with the leaders. It's quite shocking that he would be in that kind of situation, getting that loose that far back from another car. I think that just goes to show how difficult it is to trail another car in front with the turbulent air. And for Ericsson, glad to see him get out and walk away. That was a massive impact.
Hit.
What just happened to Alexander Rossi as he comes to pit lane?
Oh, baby. Outside the lines. He might get a penalty for that. Oh, no. He missed the pit entry.
Overcooked it out of 4. It must have been a late call, perhaps, and that's going to be a huge time loss. That's got to be several seconds he'll lose to Dixon.
Going for the big in-lap, Marty.
And Paul, we're going to see how much that will affect him. You see Scott Dixon on pit road. Right behind him, Rinus VK trying to pull out of his stall. VK stalls his car. You see Rossi, he leaves pretty close to Dixon, so I'm wondering if it did not hamper him that much. But VK killed the car when he came out of pit road, just popped the clutch too quick, and it stalled on him. They had to push him back, crank it back up, but Rinus VK going to lose a massive amount of time. He came to pit road running 3rd, guys.
That's the only blemish that this 19-year-old Dutch driver has had this month here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And we've now got 2 Chevrolets in the top 5. They're trying to take the fight back to the Hondas, but it's Scott Dixon for Chip Ganassi Racing that'll see the green flag first. Let's go. Takuma Sato is not too far behind, and Alexander Rossi as well. Oh! Pick up the rookie. There's a spinner.
Connor Daly spins it.
Big
hard hit for, I think,
Oliver Askew.
Oliver Askew lost it in the smoke, and that was a massive hit.
That was nasty.
So it was panic in the back when Connor Daly lit it up and lost it. And then you can't, I would imagine, Townsend, that the smoke he probably couldn't see.
Well, but he was so fast onto the scene. I'm not sure if Connor Daly was hit or what happened. Is the AMR team quick to tend to ask you get the fire out on the right rear?
That was a big hit.
Wow, that was a vicious angle, too, that he came darting off of turn 4.
Well, I think you saw that the NASCAR drivers started doing what I was doing in those wrecks that I learned from an IndyCar, which was to let go of the steering wheel. Once you've lost it and there's no getting it back, you just let go, because in an IndyCar, your thumbs can break and get caught in the steering wheel. So I started doing that in stock cars, and it's funny, I've seen some more of that ever since then.
Connor Daly is out of his Ed Carpenter Racing Chevrolet, his 7th Indy 500, coming to a very premature end. This is Oliver Askew trying to get himself out of that Arrow McLaren SP Chevy, the youngster who had done so well in this race.
For sure, he hit the wall really hard, so he's shaking up a little bit there, but he's out.
And thinking about a very scary moment that he had coming off of 4. The gloves come off, and it looks like
there's a lot of, I mean, you get the wind knocked right out of you when you hit that hard. Just needs a minute here to get his bearings around him.
Might have smacked his knees together. That's one of the things that'll get you in an IndyCar is an impact like that. You get the inside of both knees effectively clapped together at a ferocious rate.
This is the Indy Lights champion of a year ago, the 23-year-old from Florida. He's been on the podium in his rookie season. He's a very nice young man who's got a big future ahead of him. That was the speed at which he darted across.
So here we go. Connor just loses it on the power. He's down way low. Lots of smoke. He's got the throttle wide open. And in the back here, I don't really know what, I don't know if he got touched, but bang, side slap, pancaked the wall.
Thank goodness for the safer barrier. Thank goodness for the safer barrier. Look how things are tight now. Scott Dixon, race leader in that PNC Bank Honda. He has got Takuma Sato all over him. Alexander Rossi, then Pato Award, the 21-year-old rookie. Let's go again.
Sato made a good restart there, but I don't think he's close enough to draft up. But now Rossi has the draft, the double draft here, might have an opportunity to go to the inside, which is his favorite spot, Townsend.
Got it done. Alexander Rossi through on the inside of Sato and sets out after Dixon.
Santino Ferrucci with a big run goes for the short shoot move on Newgarden. That is bold and high risk, but Ferrucci pulls it off.
That Sealmaster Honda has been flying today, PT.
Ferrucci's got that little bit higher downforce setup. He's great on the restarts, but he needs to get it trimmed out if he's going to have a shot at running up front. But right now, the dogfight is going to be Dixon Rossi.
This is Ferrucci on Takuma Sato.
Alonso doing a great job. You've got to stay in it, stay focused, stay hungry. His caution's out.
What's it for? Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's Alex Palou, the rookie, who had such a glittering time here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Qualifying in the Fast 9 shootout, looked great in practice, looked great every session. How has his race ended? What caused it? The driver of the Dale Coyne Racing with Team Go Honda.
He's right over here by turn 2, so he's had the accident in 1, hit it 1, and is about 200 yards up the road from me. The car's pointed backwards.
Similar position to end up, Paul, from the accident earlier in turn 1. Palou climbs out. I talked to him this morning. He was so happy to have his family here from Spain, his girlfriend, his mom and dad, his sister. Felt so confident, so excited.
He has dreamed of racing in the United States for many, many years, hence the special helmet with the stars and stripes. This is how it ended for Alex Palou.
High already and just got up out of the gray.
Exactly.
Tried to get it stopped. He got on the brakes and then kind of just skidded along the short chute wall right there. And I'm over there in the turn 2 suite. He stopped just short, but just got up high, and then he realized, Townsend, he was going to hit the wall and jam the brakes on to try to stop, and it was locked up.
There has been a penalty assessed to the 27 Napa Auto Parts Honda of Alexander Rossi. Go to the back of the field.
You think he was angry last year's Indy 500. He's going to be furious as we get a replay of what happened in the pit lane, and they're calling it an unsafe release. And he drops the car, and the team tells him to go. He doesn't know. He just knows he's clear, makes contact with Sato on the way out, and the chief steward has ruled this an unsafe release, and he goes to the back of the field.
Happens every year here. Just not much room on pit lane in Indy. And Paul, to your point, we talk about angry fast from that 2.7 when he's up front. I can't imagine what this restart is going to be like. He'll know that the sweepers are out there cleaning up the high line. So, Marty, I would expect the American's going to go big with just 70 laps to go.
Not a word from Alexander Rossi. He just dropped to the back of the field when Rob Edwards told him to do so. There you go. He'll pull in behind Max Chilton right there. But remember that conversation that I had with him, if you caught it on NBCSports.com, he said, listen, this place brings out a different level in me. And yes, sometimes it does make me angry and I want to take chances. So Rossi has had a miscommunication with a timing stand, missing pit road earlier. He made up that 5-second deficit. Now he's at the back of the field. 71 laps to go.
By the way, just updating you that there were some late stoppers there. Elio Castro Neves, Spencer Pigot, they decided to top off. Let's go racing again. It's Felix Rosenquist at the front, Rinus VeeKay, and then the 24 of Sage Karam. But then you pick up Scott Dixon, and Dixon is being hassled by a rookie in Pato O'Ward. Meanwhile, bottom of your screen, it's Alexander Rossi on the go.
And Karam and VeeKay had a touch up there going into turn 1 as Ferrucci goes high once again. Too much. This is way too much fun. Rossi angry fast. Dixon trying to protect his car and get to the lead.
Rossi trying to get by Castro Neves right here. He gets a run off the corner. Slides up the inside, but it's all jammed up. Look at these guys just trying to get out of the way here. What's going on?
Oh my gosh, Alexander Rossi, what a move!
Great job, great job.
That's at over 200 miles an hour, folks. Incredible.
Some type of issue going on with Pagenaud. He didn't get up to speed at all.
Rossi passed about 5 cars in that one move. That was a massive moment to the good for Alexander Rossi to get back to the front.
Dixon's gone to the front over teammate Felix Rosenquist. He is off strategy by about 30-plus laps as far as his last stop. Graham Rahal is ahead of teammate Takuma Sato. And then you've got Joseph Newgarden in the mix. Pato O'Ward has dropped back a couple of spots.
While all this has happened, Scott Dixon has gotten back to the lead in front of his teammates somehow. We had lap cars in the mix, and Dixon has worked his way from about 4th or 5th in line back to the lead.
Rossi has another good run here on Castro Neves if he can hold onto the front straightaway.
Castro Neves is not an easy guy to pass. He makes it hard for you. Not close enough, nowhere near close enough to make a move now.
Paul, we got to go back. Watch this. Just watch and listen here.
GDO's next. Still there.
From the bottom lane to the high lane and sweeping around.
Yeah.
And this is Pagenaud, who did not get up to speed.
Yeah, Pagenaud just was not, he was holding up the hole.
Oh,
that's why he didn't get up to speed. That was crazy.
My goodness. His teammate we saw dive for pit lane. And there's another caution. It's Alexander Rossi. Rossi is out of this 500.
Well, this changes everything because Rossi has now crashed. We've got another yellow. And the split strategy, Townsend, we were talking about it during commercial.
You okay, Alex?
Ganassi's got this thing like totally timed right with both cars.
Might have helped Pagenaud tremendously make up ground already in the pits before the yellow came out. As Rossi climbs from the car, puts the steering wheel back. And
so right now, Rosenquist can do this on one more stop. Dixon potentially 2. Dixon was running fast laps and just taken off from Sato. I think Sato's committed to trying to do it on 1, but it's touch and go on that. So right now, the Ganassi, both of them look pretty good.
Alexander Rossi, as you saw there, his helmet's off. He's with the AMR safety team, and his 2020 Indy 500 comes to a halt. His 5th Indy 500.
It's up high. Well, got loose on him.
Wow.
So just same thing as, exact same thing as what
Ericsson
happened to Ericsson.
Closing 26 laps of the 104th running of the Indianapolis 500, presented by Gainbridge, and Takuma Sato in the People Ready Honda, leading Scott Dixon, leading his teammate. Now, when I say leading, technically they're not, because Zach Veach is in the lead of the race, but Veach and Max Chilton are on different strategies to Takuma Sato, and this is how Takuma put the move for what is ostensibly the lead on Scott Dixon.
Had a great run coming out of turn 4. Takuma Sato knew that on new tires, his best chance potentially to get Dixon was early in this stint. It'll be fascinating, Paul, to see if Dixon can respond. Right now, it looks like he's struggling to stay close, and here comes Rahal and Santino Ferrucci.
For sure, both Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan cars are super fast at the end of the race. But I think, you know, right now, Dixon knows you don't want to lead coming to the last couple laps. So I think he's prepared to sit here and watch Sato's car and see where it's weak.
Carpenter has cleared out.
Oh, the gap just closed big.
Sato has to make this move. He's got to get by Tony Kanaan, otherwise he's going to have company. Here he goes.
Inside.
Oh, huge
Go
break
inside,
for
clear.
Sato to get a car between himself and Scott Dixon. Now, Rahal and Ferrucci all over the back of Scott Dixon.
Tony Kanaan has tremendous respect for his ex-teammate. I will suspect that he will let him go by on the front straightaway here.
Dixon looking to clear Kanaan. Does it happen fast enough for Scott's liking? Not just yet. Dixon to the inside. Rahal will follow as well. Ferrucci not close enough to get through on that same opening.
Now look at the gap.
Yes.
Look at the gap Dixon needs to make up. That little break that Sato got was a huge amount of breathing room.
It's a 1 second gap now between the two, but the laps are not quick. 2:10 on that last lap for Dixon, 2:13 for Sato, and he's built a big gap.
But Charlie Kimball is still in front of Sato, circulating much slower.
Oh, big crash
boy.
into the attenuator.
No. That's right at pit in. That's Spencer Piggott.
This is going to cause a red flag for sure because they're going to want to finish this under green.
Right at the pit attenuator, right on the very
it's a
end.
big crash.
Oh boy.
Trauma, huge trauma.
Spencer's now raising the visor. That signifies that he's alert and awake, and it's a sign to race control and the AMR safety team.
Coming off turn 4 at these speeds at the end of the race, these Rahal cars have been running 220 mile-an-hour laps, and look at the end of the pit wall. It looks as though he lost it coming off the corner. You see the skid marks, and he hit the tire attenuator. And
oh boy, that is a huge impact. What a relief to see Spencer moving inside the cockpit. I mean,
well, it's 4 laps now. If they don't red flag, then it's over. Sato will win this, but wow, I would be very surprised if they don't red flag it and have a shootout, a 3-lapper.
26-year-old Floridian, gingerly out of his Hy-Vee Honda. Oh boy, while his 2 teammates from Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, this is the Citroen Buell Autosport side of the team, are vying for the win. This talented youngster ends his race in spectacular style and certainly not the way he wants.
Already way loose, loses it, brushes the wall, not super hard, and then it just hooks itself, and that's the worst case scenario right there.
He's going over 100 miles an hour and comes to effectively a full stop. Listen here.
Oh.
As you rejoin us, I can tell you that this race will not be red flagged, and it will finish under yellow, with Takuma Sato winning his 2nd Indianapolis 500 for Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan Racing. His other win was for Michael Andretti. This one for Bobby Rahal, Mike Lanigan, and David Letterman. And there is the 1986 winner, Bobby Rahal on the right. Delighted. It wasn't his son, but it was one of his drivers. And Taku has done it for the 2nd time in 3 years.
Townsend, it's the wild thing no more. He was super cool Sato today. We got to come up with a new nickname because he played his cards perfect today.
He's a recovered wild man. Sato, so measured, especially when he caught the traffic. He waited for his moment with Tony Kanaan. And Marty, we're looking at a 2-time winner coming for the last lap and a half here. They still have to coach him home for 1 lap for Sato, but I think the decision to go early and make his move was the winning decision. I'm not sure Dixon could have gotten back by.
The speeds were too high. They had ramped it up to 220s and 21s, and
there's David Letterman.
There's the boss.
He's thrilled. That's the team's first win since our mate Buddy Rice won all the way back in 2004. Here is the move, And it wasn't for the lead of the race ultimately. It was for the win.
And
Got
it
it
wasn't
done early,
just that move, Paul. It was the block. Well, I shouldn't say block. It was the defensive driving that Sato displayed, the lessons he learned by watching Pagano do the same thing last year. And he did that for a few laps, and that took the advantage off Dixon's tires to respond.
There was nothing, though, that was out of line. He just was driving the line that he needed to when Dixon was pursuing and had a chance to challenge. But ultimately, when it came down into the final 10 laps, Sato had a faster car and started to pull away.
This 43-year-old, now two-time winner from Japan, there will be thousands, and I mean thousands of kids cheering for him in Japan. The reason why 6 years ago Taku started a thing with you Japan, the Kids Kart Challenge, and he just wanted kids to help them achieve their dreams. And he did so much in the tsunami relief as well. This guy has done so much. He was the toast of Japan when he was a Formula One driver. He's been now in IndyCar longer than he was in Formula One.
To the checkered flag, buddy.
And this is a really special moment. Really special moment, and the way that he had to fight.
Now let's bring this thing home, man.
Let's bring it home, and he is.
Thanks, Sky, baby. We won it.
Takuma Sato is a two-time winner of the Indianapolis 500 for Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. Sato, Dixon, and Rahal.
Takuma, you are the man. You drove the wheels off that thing today. Awesome job.
Lee wheeling Takuma Sato into victory lane. I love that Bob Rahal wanted to ride up on the lift. Enjoy the moment, right? Taku, now a two-time Indy 500 winner, and you can see him in the car just kind of looking to the sky, savoring the moment, almost praying, if you will. You don't get to do this very often in your career, and Taku certainly taking this one in. You know, it's 6:45 a.m. Monday morning in Japan, but I have a feeling there's a party going on in Tokyo as Takuma kind of enjoys this moment. Takuma, you can climb out if you want. Takuma Sato, the 2020 winner of the Indianapolis 500. The one-legged stand. The winner's wreath from Borg Warner. We'll bring in the milk as well from the Indiana dairy farmers. 2% for Takuma was the choice today. Gonna hop off, and here comes the milk, everyone. And then from Jostens, the winner's ring as well. Such tradition here in Indianapolis. And a hug. Takuma showing off all the wares from Indianapolis. And a big smile on his face. Let's go over and grab a word with him. He wants to go celebrate with the crew. Ricardo Nault with a hug. And a hug for the crew members who were blessed enough to be up here. David Letterman right behind you as well. You might as well go hug the other boss.
Got it. God bless you, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hell of a job. Hell of a job. Thank you. Oh, my God.
I love you, buddy. Well done.
Thank you. Oh.
Thank you. Oh, this is unbelievable.
And then finally, Bob Rahal.
Congrats, babe. Congrats.
We'll certainly let that one happen. Hey, Taku, how big's the party in Japan right now?
This is unbelievable. Thank you so much. I can't find a word. Can't find a word.
How did you hold Scott Dixon back, Taku, who had the best car all day long?
Yes, we did. I think we did. And obviously we lapped short from Dixie. And we knew in terms of the fuel strategy was a little tight. I couldn't use the max power, so I had to switch back and forth. I know Scott was coming right through out of turn 4. He's screaming coming, and I was just held off. So thank you so much.
Watch the Bommarito Automotive Group Race 1, Saturday, August 29th at 3 p.m. on NBCSN.